Hi.
Hi.
You alright?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, well you've just been to bloody Italy, haven't you?
No. I went to Gran Canaria.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Hola! We're here in Gran Canaria and we're here to ride the Hypermotard 950 and the Hypermotard 950 SP. So 2008 was the first Hypermotard, or the Hypermotard.
Really? I thought it'd be later than that.
No, 2008, so 11 years. And the first ones were raw, bonkers, proper motard madness. But this time, the Ducati engineers wanted to go back to motard. So the big thing is, they flattened the seat and they've changed the ergonomics so the bars are sort of pushed forward and wider, and straight away you feel like you're on a motard again. The old bike, you sat stuck in the middle in that seat. Did you ever ride it?
Yeah.
You did?
I think it looks better than the last one.
Yeah. Do you like the underseat exhaust?
I do.
Yeah.
So what's new about the 950 compared to the
939.
939,
Yeah.
apart from 11?
Well, this is it. So it's not. The engine is the same.
Hang on, let me just check I got my maths right.
Yes, it is, yeah. The engine is exactly the same capacity. So
Okay.
it's I think it's 937 actually. Being Ducati, they like to change the numbers about. So exactly the same capacity, but there's new pistons, there's higher compression ratio from 12.61 to 13.3 to 1. Ducati wanted more torque, but rather than, because it's a torquey motor anyway, it's a really hard hitting motor anyway, so rather than just applying loads of torque and hard hitting, they wanted to make it sort of more linear and smooth. There's new exhaust cam profile, new 53mm throttle bodies. The peak power is 114 horsepower, so it's up 4 horsepower. Ducati reckon there's 82% of torque at 3,000 RPM.
Wow.
So it's pretty serious. It's going to be pretty serious.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty serious. Tina, come get some food.
Chassis-wise, geometry is exactly the same. It's lost 4 kilos.
Oh, which is
always good.
It's rare for a modern bike, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've gone to town really. There's like the frame tubing, instead of 3mm, it's 2.5mm. So that's lost 1 kilo. The engine itself has lost around 1 kilo.
Have they got rid of some of the mechanical sort of
Jib jobs
gremlins that we saw in the earlier models?
Well, it's
or the internet likes to talk about.
The forum was alight with issues with the previous bike. I spoke to the project leader, and he was aware of some calibration issues that caused these electronic issues, and they've completely reset the ECU. There's a new ECU. And the seat height, I mean, it's a big thing. It's put a lot of short people off. It's 890. Still 890mm for the SP, and the standard 950 is 870. But this is a big thing. So the seat is way narrower.
Okay.
So the bit between your gusset.
Yeah. So your legs can hang longer anyway.
Exactly. So it feels, although the seat height is the same, it feels narrower and it feels shorter.
Okay.
And for the first time ever, I could put both feet flat on the floor.
Okay.
There's also a new hydraulic clutch. There's a new TFT dash inspired by the Panigale. There's 6-axis Bosch IMU for all the electronic gizmos.
Bosch.
So you get Sport, Touring, Urban, and TC, and ABS Pro. And that
Still
sort of thing.
manual suspension on it though?
Oh yes, of course. Yeah. And you also get the backing in, the rear
nice.
brake. What do you call it?
The thing on the V4.
Yes.
Yeah.
You stamp the rear brake and it lets you slide out for it.
Wow.
But we'll get to that later.
So you rode both the SP
Yep.
and the road version.
Yep.
Well, they're both road versions, but and the standard.
Yep.
SP was on track.
SP was on track at the Mas Paloma circuit, so where we had the 790 review launch. It was exactly the same track, exactly the same layout.
Got your eye in and everything.
I got my eye in. I was P1. So yeah. So the SP, I mean, instantly, we were kind of spoiled a bit really, because the SP, who's going to buy the stock bike?
I don't know.
The SP is so goddamn good looking. It's got, it's got
white bits on it.
It's got Öhlins. It's got carbon. It's got the Marchesini wheels. And also, this is the big thing. We had the Terminioni full system. Look at this. That's a bit nicer than the stocker Though we've still got a baffle in, but apparently there's noise issues at the circuit. That's Zach. That's Zach. That's the famous Zach. Oh, it sounds very, very naughty. You can tell the engine spins quicker. Feels the throttle's heavier, but way more responsive. A little bit of chance to heat up. The front end is delicious, really confidence inspiring, and the brakes are just, wow, Ducati brakes, you can't really go wrong, can you? There's this weird sort of flex you get that wasn't there before in the bars, like sort of rubber mounting, but it works. You can put it anywhere you want it. I think the chassis is a little bit too stiff to be a full-on motard, but this seat honestly makes such a difference. You can move about more and allow your body to sort of adjust weight transfer. Oh, where's he going? Oi! You can talk about headline figures and rate horsepower numbers all you like, but this isn't about peak power. This is about that torque, and it is insane. It is a jaw smacker. The limiter is a lovely sort of soft cut limiter, doesn't smack you in the face. Anytime it smacks you in the face is with that torque. Very, very naughty. There's nothing nice about this bike at all. It's just pure filth. It's like a porn star. It's a porn star of motorcycling. The dirty. I can't tell you how, oops, bloody hell. Can't tell you how good this seat is. What I mean good, I mean flat. The old one when you're sort of stuck in one position, it was very restricting. But this is way nicer. It allows the rider to move around and control weight transfer. And above all else, it's comfier. Oh, bit of a slide there, Nige. Bit of a slide. You definitely need a rear brake to trade in, because with the extra travel and the softness of the suspension, you definitely need a bit of rear brake to stop the squat and make the bike turn a little bit. Woo! That's just something I like actually, a nice big thick rear stand jobby so you can get your foot underneath it straight away. Nice touch. And these are quite big as well. Oh. Ding ding, round two. Oh, bastard. Got me right in the eye. Whoa! Alright, let's do an onboard lap of Paloma Face circuit.
tricky chicane here. Right, left flick. Jump the curb all the way out to the wall. Third, fourth, whoa. Back down a second. Chuck it in. Oh, I'm blowing now. Pick it up, gas. Third. Hold third. Back down a second. This is where you feel the rubber mounted bars moving around a bit. It feels good here. That soft cut limiter helping you out. You second for the whole section here. Wheelie. Horrible little chicane. This is good. Doesn't feel awkward through here, which I was expecting it to. Round the outside. No. And now you have a lap of Paloma Face circuit. P1. Doing it for the Brits. Thank you. Yeah.
It's okay?
It's good.
This is the cup.
Oh, thank you. Where's the champagne?
Champagne.
Despite all the little changes to the chassis, I mean, it's not massively different over the old model, but it felt less awkward. You know, because it is a motard. It's not a sports bike. It's not a bike you go, right, I'm going to take it to Brands Hatch or Cadwell or whatever and take it to a track day. But now,
But it would be good fun.
it would be hilarious fun because you'd just be on the back wheel for most of it.
Well, I might not.
No, you've got no choice, mate.
Really?
You've got no choice. As soon as you take the anti-wheelie off, because you have to really,
Yeah.
it is just like, it just, you know, you couldn't do it on the road because you would end up in jail. You have no control. I mean, the electronics are brilliant, but you have no control without anti-wheelie on. It's as simple as that. You will end up in jail. There's more ground clearance on the SP than there is on the stocker because it's higher.
Yeah.
You know, there's more travel on the SP suspension.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been designed to go on track and for more performance. So you know, it certainly is that.
Can you pull away fast from a junction? Because the last one, I don't know what I took one out for a test ride and it was like kangarooing, like slipping the clutch. Like, I think I actually hit my helmet on the windscreen.
Really? It's tricky. It's a hydraulic clutch. It's a Ducati, and they need special attention when launching.
Yeah. You kind of got to disengage. Disengage the clutch as soon as possible.
Exactly.
You get on.
Exactly.
Okay.
So like the 899 Panigale that I raced, you had to hold it at 2,000 or 3,000 RPM and just go boom, let go of the clutch.
Yeah.
No problems.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm not saying it's a problem. It's just if it's still
just strange.
If it still has that.
Yeah.
The MV was like that as well.
Exactly. It was hydraulic clutches.
Right.
It's something about Italians and the hydraulic clutches, but it's definitely a foible and it's definitely a bit of a idiosyncrasy rather than a fault because you know once you work around it. But yeah, I can see why someone who's never ridden it or never experienced that setup, you go, ooh,
Yeah.
you look
Race
like a bit of a
someone
weapon.
at the traffic lights. Hey, check out this new bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So onto the road then. The roads around Gran Canaria. I mean, we're obviously guilty sometimes of launch fever and all these amazing roads you get riding. I guess that's the issue with the Hyperstrada. I know you said Hyperstrada. That's the issue with the multi.
Sorry.
That's the issue with the Hypermotard.
Okay. Yes.
Got it in the end.
Yay.
It's because it is a niche bike and because I don't think it'd ever be my first bike. My only bike.
No, but it's a hoon.
It's a hoony. It's the ultimate commuter. It's hilarious fun, but it probably couldn't be my only bike.
And I think it's unfair when people of the internet cuss it for not having a big tank or being able to go to work on it or doing stuff because that's not what it's for.
No, exactly.
It's a joyous machine.
Exactly.
It's not a lap time work.
Exactly.
touring.
It's there to go from A to B in as riotous manner as possible.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, with jeans and motorbike jeans, leather jacket, smoking a gouloir.
Yeah. Gouloir. Yeah.
Or
Lucky Strike.
Or cafe creme.
My dad used to smoke cafe crepes. They smell like camel poo.
So now we're on the Stocker and just had a bit of luncheon. Marvellous bit of fish. I'm not usually a fish man, but when the sea's there, it's a good excuse to have a little dabble in the fish. It's also worth pointing out that we were on the SP with a full system, and that's not road legal. Now we're back on the Stocker with the stock exhaust, so it's going to feel a little bit gutless. Immediately you can feel the lower seat height. I mean, the whole bike is quite a bit lower because you've got less travel as well in this version. We've got Marzocchi forks and a Sachs shock. Oh, you still get plenty of torque, plenty of shove. I'll get rid of touring mode. Who put it in touring mode? That's better, my babby. Back in the business, back in the game. And one thing that's quite annoying and apparent straight away is the fact there's no blipper or shifter on the Stocker, which is, yeah, as I said, annoying. A bike that costs nearly 11 grand. It's, you want the tech on there, really, don't you? Cool. And of course we've got a downgrading rubber as well. Well, I say downgrading, more suitable tyre is the Rosso 3. Oh, I missed that blipper. Missed that blipper. Then again, it's something quite organic with closing the throttle and giving it a good old ankle fall on the boot. Oh, you naughty thing. Oh, honestly, officer, that's very, very naughty. But in the UK, the Hypermotard isn't, you know, we're talking 10s rather than 100s sold per year, and I think that's only down to the environment. You can't really enjoy the bike to its strengths like you can do. We haven't got these sort of roads. I mean, look at that. It's just begging to be abused. I'll just reiterate the point about the seat. I mean, this is, you know, obviously the headline figures, more power and less weight and TFT dash and blah blah blah, but the seat as an ergonomic feature is just as good as any of the other upgrades. You know, sometimes you can get lost in the technology and forget the simple things, and this is simple but effective, isn't it? Oh, you that was Zach being a naughty boy. I mean, for those of you who don't know much about the Testa Stretta, this is it's quite lumpy, as you'll see. Sort of, it's not too bad, but below 2 grand, it sounds like a machine gun that's gone sick. But above that, it's remarkably smooth. I think there's more work gone into the throttle connection, and I mean, yes, Ducatis always feel the ride-by-wire. You can tell it's ride-by-wire. You know, there's no conventional cable sensation. It's very much a twist tube that goes into a signal that sends a signal to the throttle body. So I think this is the perfect bike for these roads. There's nothing. There's probably not much faster A to B, that's for sure. You know, you don't have to hang off, you don't have to start knee dragging or knee skidding. It's all about stop, start, whamming on the brakes, chuck it on its side. That rain can f off. I'm not in the mood for rain today. Me and the Hyper have got business to attend to. It's strange, it doesn't feel as awkward in sort of big lean corners as before, but the geometry is exactly the same. It's lighter. The suspension is softer, so that's probably a big thing. That's probably a good point, actually. I didn't really think about that. The suspension is softer. They try to induce more weight transfer to help with that feeling on the as you get with the SP. So although the suspension is the same, it's softer. And I said you get less travel than on the SP. So to induce weight transfer, you make it softer, and you get the pitching and you get the sort of the required weight transfer. So that may be something to do with it. The bike's sitting lower, more mechanical grip. I don't know, but it definitely feels less awkward. It just goads you into attack mode. This thing. Oh shit! It's a sort of bike that rewards you by the more effort you put in. You know, some sort of nakeds and other bikes, they kind of, you know, the harder you push, there's no reward to it. The suspension flaps, the chassis frustrates, and it just gets into a bit of a tiz-was. But the harder you ride this, the more rewarding it is, without doubt. Like I said, it goads you into attack mode, and your elbows are out, and before you know it, you're bloody Antonio Caroli, or the supermoto equivalent. That thrust you get, you know, there's no point revving it. You just keep chucking gears at it. Boom, chucking gears at it. Woo! Was a bit narrow. Oh, tight. There's one thing this bike isn't short of, it's fun factor. I mean, it's fun factor 10, it's just factor 10. That'll learn them.
I thought you were just going to throw it.
I wouldn't do that. Auto Lavado. It's like Carlos Lavado, isn't it? Carlos Lavado, Auto Lavado. I'm sure some of you young'uns won't remember Carlos Lavado. Absolute legend on a 250. So, go on, son. Go on.
People go, oh, I won't buy it because the tank's too small. Just jog on, mate. Jog on. It's only 2 litres off, 3 litres off a 1000cc sports bike.
Or a GS.
Or a GS, yeah. And we did I think we did 90 miles on the road without seeing the light and without seeing the reserve light. So you probably do 100 miles to a tank, and we were properly giving it the
Braking?
awesome stopping power, but because of the weight transfer, there's more weight transfer this year. On the stop bike, they made it softer to try and induce more weight transfer, give more feeling to the chassis.
I like weight transfer.
I love weight transfer, and that's why they've done it. It gives you more feeling with the chassis, but because they've done that on the brakes, holding the brakes, you want a bit of rear brake to try and help it. Because you know that feeling you get when you have lots of dive, and you have it just goes right down to the bottom and stops there.
Yeah.
With a bit of rear brake, it helps turn the bike. And
especially with this fancy rear brake skiddy thing.
Well, exactly.
So what about this slide by brake thingy bobble booble?
Well, in theory, it's a brilliant idea. You know, it allows the rider, the pilot, to stamp on the rear brake, and when it gets to 10 degrees out of line, the IMU goes whoa, 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 and it brings the bike back into line using the ABS. And but riders with experience or anyone that's going pretty fast will just override it, and it gets in the way. It doesn't do it smoothly. So you're best off.
You can turn it off though.
You can't turn the ABS off anymore, which is quite annoying. But that's Euro 5 for you, Euro 4/Euro 5.
Even on the rear.
Even on the rear.
So you can't do skids.
No. But there is one way of doing it. By wheeling for that long and stopping the front wheel, bringing it down, it disables the ABS.
Okay, so if you want to do a skid, wheelie for ages, and then bring it down, slam the rear brakes on.
Yeah. Solved. But that's the case of a lot of ABS bikes these days. But yeah, so thanks to Brussels for ruining something else.
Thanks, Juncker. So how much is it?
The stock bike, the stocker, is 10,995.
That actually sounds quite reasonable for today's market.
It's not bad. I mean, everyone will moan about it.
Well, they will, yeah.
But I mean, Ducati is a premium brand, isn't it?
Yeah.
The SP might put more people off, and that's 14,295. So it's a big jump. And a lot of people have been asking whether it's worth the extra money, but is it three and a bit grand? When you look at the kit, the extra kit, the looks, the sound, the extra capability of that bike, without doubt, it's worth the money.
What don't you like about it?
Well, still, despite moans and groans from previous owners, there's still no fuel gauge.
That is kind of unacceptable, really, isn't it?
I mean,
It's not. It doesn't cost a lot of money to put one on, does it?
there's a TFT screen, brand new. It will take seconds to put a fuel gauge on there, but
Okay, fuel gauge.
don't know really. I think that's it.
If you were in the market for a fun weekend summer cock around bike, would you buy that one
I would definitely.
over, say, a Super Ducati?
This is it. I mean, one of our friends, shout out to Arthur, asked me, would I take that or the Super? It's
They're
the
different
Super Duke-
bikes.
There's completely different bikes. This is the thing. This is what people are saying. Even the MT-09 is a completely different bike. The MT-09 is more like naked than Motard. This is compromised in every way, but it's so focused and
On cocking about.
And I can't think of another sort of Motard-based bike that is as good or is as fun. So, but yeah, in answer to your question, the 1290 can do more. It's more versatile. It'll do touring-ish.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. Whereas the Hypermotards certainly won't.
Interesting. Well, you can make your own mind up and head over to Ducati and have a little look.
You could do.